in Trinidad and Tobago, but also internationally via the Sankhya TV website. International viewers can visit sankhyatv.com and view our live stream 24/7. Viewers in Belize can view Sankhya Television on Belize Central TV Internet Cable Network Channel 250. Viewers in Guyana can view Sanka Television on Guyana Airlink Channel 13 as well as E-Networks Channel 8. Thank you for supporting Sanka Television and watching Sanka TV, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice both locally and internationally for inspirational, cultural, and spiritual programming. Sanka Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming, is not only available locally in Trinidad and Tobago, but also internationally via the Sankhya TV website. International viewers can visit sankhyatv.com and view our live stream 24/7. Viewers in Belize can view Sanka Television on Belize Central TV Internet Cable Network Channel 250. Viewers in Guyana can view Sanka Television on Guyana Airlink Channel 13 as well as E-Networks Channel 8. Thank you for supporting Sanka Television and watching Sanka TV, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice both locally and internationally for inspirational, cultural, and spiritual programming. Sanka Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming, is not only available locally in Trinidad and Tobago, but also internationally via the Sankhya TV website. International viewers can visit sankhyatv.com and view our live stream 24/7. Viewers in Belize can view Sanka Television on Belize Central TV Internet Cable Network Channel 250. Viewers in Guyana can view Sanka Television on Guyana Airlink Channel 13 as well as E-Networks Channel 8. Thank you for supporting Sanka Television. And once more, I sit with Mr. Lalchan Rampersad, and he has a very interesting bit of research to present today to us, the time machine. And normally we have a little discussion before, but I'm interested in this piece of research. So Mr. Rampersad, thank you again for joining us.
Okay. Thanks for having me. All right. Yes, I'll start right away. Time machine, part 1. This is what we're dealing here with, the time machine. Right. Hello everyone. My name is Lalchan Rampersad. I am here to present a research titled Time Machine. But first, I would like to thank authorities of Sankhya Television for permitting me to present this research, Time Machine. In previous videos, I presented 2 machines. 1 Vedi machine, 2 Trigunas machine. I will now present a 3rd named time machine. This is chart number 51. Yeah. Ram the inventor. In previous video, I showed how Ram invented 3 zeros, 3 gunas, heaven and earth universe. Now I will present another invention by Ram, the time machine. It is construction of seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, months, and years. All of this is listed here. Right? Let those who stole our Hindu history and inventions by Ram, right, take note, come forward to refute my claim. Right? In Ramayana, they present on page 78, they present AM, PM, that is Ram's inventions. On page 79, it presents Ram is the master of inventions. Page 80, Parvati and Shiva are AM, PM, is record of time, Siddhantic calendar. This is record of Ram's history and inventions. Statement, Bible, a Hindu book. Any Bible scholar who does not know that Bible is a Hindu book, he has no knowledge of Bible. Period. Any pundit who does not know that Bible is a Hindu book, he has no knowledge of Ramayana. Bible and Ramayana are 2 most popular books and are completely misinterpreted. Parallel books are constructed to assist readers. This practice of reading has distorted these two books. The incompetence of readers to properly research is unbelievable, and that no one to this date has come close to understand anything whatsoever. What are you reading? I keep asking this question. Now I will tell you how to read scriptures. You are reading records of 7 sages. That is listed here. These are the 7 sages here. That is what you're reading throughout scriptures, and is repeated for every chapter. This is how scriptures were written. All 7 sages, these are the 7 sages here, are on journey at the same time. In this research, I will read manuscripts of time, AM, PM, from Revelation and Bible. This is the AM, PM here. 5 sages are presented there. 6 sages are presented there with AM, PM. Journey of 7 sages are simultaneous. This is how to read and understand scripture. You have to be qualified on manuscripts of 7 sages. This is what I mean by stating that you are reading, and you don't know what you are reading. I presented 3 gunas in previous video. Now I will present time, AM, PM, from the time machine. Part 2, chart number 51. We are here. Steps to understand timeline. Now, 1, Holy Spirit, 378 members. Well, I presented 378 members there, right? Appoint 5 gods. Oh, I will show it here. To the start of the timeline. Now, these are the 378 forms. That is, the Holy Spirit appointed 5 gods. Right? 5 gods appointed another 5 gods. These 5 gods appointed another 5 gods. Total 10 gods. 10 numbers. Okay? 10 numbers divided into 7 divisions is 0.71 each. 7 divisions of 378 forms transferred to 7 sages equals to 54 forms each. So this is the start of the timeline, or what we should say the time machine, right? Now 7 sages, these are the 7 sages, are divided into 2 parts. 1 animate, 7 live members. These are 7 live members. The entity of the 7 live members are Ram. Inanimate, 7 members without life, is also entity Ram. In later verses, 7 inanimate members become entity Sita. Now, what you are looking at is 7 inanimate members are equal to 7 divisions of 378 inventions. That also is the Holy Spirit. So there where you have live people and people without life. That is, so the live people are taking the people without life on the journey. And what is the start of the timeline? Is that they are taken with them the 378 inventions. I never explained that before, but this is 378 inventions at that time. That is 13,500 BC. Okay? Now I will explain the 7 sages here. You have one here is 4 heavens. They call it 4 yugas. Then you have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the 3 gunas. Then you have Holy Spirit, 378 forms. Then you have Om. Also, on 5 you have Sati and Shiva. This is AM, PM, time. Now, 6 you have 7 manuscripts of 10 gods. And then you have the 7 sages, 12 disciples here, 12 forms. Okay? So there where you have your 7 sages on the go. Now, first resurrection. We're looking at this chart here. All right? First resurrection. 7 sages put into book on 3rd heaven. This is 3rd heaven here. That is first resurrection. 7 sages, first death. Book without life is first death. That is right here. Now, Vedi number 1. second resurrection. So we are entering this Vedi number 1, which is called second resurrection. So let's see how the time works in this travel, in this journey. Right. Using calculators or computers, time in seconds or parts of 1 second can be easily calculated or divided. But in times without electronics, Hindus devised a simple way to measure parts of 1 second. So we are measuring parts of one. We are starting the time, I'm going to put it back here. We are starting back the time machine. And we starting with this first one, which is 10 parts of 1 second. Right? So this is how the Hindus did it. They started with 10. Now it was easy also to counting from 1 to 10 are also equal to 1 second. So they have many ways that they devised the starting of the time machine. Now if you go to Revelation 13:1, they refer to 7 heads, which is talking about the 7 divisions here. And 10 horns, which is referring to the 10 numbers there. So there where you have it now. How we starting into the time machine with 10 parts of 1 second. Now 10 numbers here divided into 7 divisions present 7 parts of 1 second. This is Ram's invention of 1 second. This is no Christian invent time. This is Hindu's invention. Everybody must understand that. So they have no knowledge on time, right? This is put into Vedi number 1. But I refer to here as Vedi number 1, right? Holy Spirit 378 forms divided into 7 groups equals to 54 forms each. I present the 54 forms each on the in chart number 50. All right, put on 7 divisions on Vedi number 1. So you have that 378 forms divided into 7 sages here with 54 forms each, and that is what is coming down on the journey now. Right? This is start of journey to 14,000 years. Now, Vedi number 2 and 3, they have 60 seconds and 60 minutes. Now, what they're really doing, what the Hindus are doing, they are putting a fixed figure and passing it through this time machine. This is a time machine here. They come up with a figure for how many minutes or how many seconds, and they put it now through the time machine. Now, if you go to Psalm 90:10, they present 3 figures. 60, 70, and 80, right? And you go to Song of Solomon 3:7, they decided to use the 60 parts, which is 60 minutes or 60 seconds. So there where you have it now. So you're putting that into the time machine. And when you put it into the time machine, you get these figures. All right? That is what you're getting. Because you're dividing it into 7 parts. The time machine is you must divide it into 7 parts. Right? Part 4, Vedi number 4. So we're going on Vedi number 4 here. All right? This is Vedi number 4, is really on 4th heaven. That is over there. All right? Now, book is constructed on 4th heaven. The book I'm referring to, always refer to the book that they constructed, whether it's Ramayana or Bible. This only happens on 4th heaven. Right? But also on 4th Vedi, which 4th Vedi and 4th heaven is located in the same place. 24 hours equals 1 day and 7 days equal 1 week is presented, right? This is 24 hours 1 day and 7 days equals 1 week. So this is how they do the construction, right? Now, this now, and they continue with that till they reach down to the 14,000 years, which means that after 4 weeks, you create 12 months equals 1 year, and 14,000 years. Yeah. The reason why it's easy to calculate the 14,000 years is that 2 Peter 3:8 present a day is 1,000 years, which means that not a day of 24 hours, but a division. 1 division equals 1,000. Okay? So, we shouldn't have much difficulty with that. But I want to go back to 12 months equals 1 year. Now, how did we get 365 days equals a year? Anybody have any knowledge? How did they come to that? I want to put that to the Christians or all the scientists. Do they know how did they arrive at 365 days equals a year? Well, I'm going to analyze that there for you. And you could try to follow or repeat the video and see if you can understand it. Now, when you go to Revelation 11:2, it states 42 months. And you go to Revelation 11:3, it states 1260 days. So what they did, they take the 1260 and divide it by 42 to get 30 days per month. So now in this 12 months equals a year, you're getting 30 days equals a month. So the 12 months they multiply it by 30, you will get 360 days equals a year. So there we have it now. So they come up with a fixed figure for 360 days a year. But it is not 360 days a year. And if you check here also, if you multiply 12 months by 4 weeks, you'll get 48 weeks. And it is not 48 weeks as 1 year. So how did they arrive at 365 days? So this is what you have to do now. You have to take the 360 days and put it in through this time machine. When you do so, you will get these figures. So you will get a division equal to 25.71. That is not a month, that is a division. Okay? Now, what the authors have done here, using Raja's formula, means you leave out a month. You start in month and you put it at the end in the division. Now, what they did, they calculate now when they reach at this point here. This division is 334.23. You can do the calculation, you will get that. And they divide that now by 30 days because 30 days is a year. So you will get 11.14. That is the yes, 11.14 months, right? To construct 12 months equals 1 year, you add 1 month. You take that now and you add the 1 month, which is 30 days. You will get 364.23 days. This is your 365 days equals a year. So you must use the time machine to end up with that figure. And you must use the time machine with the 7 divisions. Otherwise, you'll never. So I don't think anybody have any knowledge. How did they arrive at 365 days? Now, I think they call that the caloral system, or you know about that? You don't. They have a name for it. I can't recall the name, but this is how they use the what we would call the Raja's formula to keep time constant, so you can add or subtract. So it is not definite that you put a figure there and that remains, because the time will go out clean. This is what happened to them previous. Now, when you check the 364 now, and you divide it by 7, you get the 52 weeks. But on this side of the timeline, you will see the same 12 by 4 remained. All right? So, with Raja's formula, you can add or subtract to keep time constant. Julius Caesar and Pope Gregory present the Julian calendar. 2 dummies present a calendar they have no knowledge about. They had no knowledge. But they say the calendar we're using is Julian calendar. They must come and refute this claim and see if they ever have knowledge now. How did they get 365 days a year? All right? We're going to part 5. Right, okay. Well, in part 5, what they did is with 2 Peter 3:8, the verse states that a day is 1,000 years. So you have 14 divisions, so you will get 14,000 years. That's very simple to understand. Okay? Now, in Revelation 22:18-19, presents a warning. No one must add or cut anything from Bible or Ramayana. This is is stated very clear in this verse here. And Bible people keep cutting the Bible and adding. This is what we talked about the last time. And so do the Ramayana people, the Hindus. They're cutting up the book and presenting another version. This, our ancestors never said to do that. That is against the law of our ancestors. Part 6. Now we're going to Hanuman. Hanuman equals 7 sages. Okay? So everybody know about Hanuman. And what I would like everybody to understand, just like you put the 7 sages there, and that is the Ram entity, Hanuman in this context, this is from page 536 to 559. They put Hanuman as the entity of the 7 sages. So when they're using what they call, he entered into Lanka, they refer in the timeline. And he entered into Lanka, and he entered as a very tiny form as small as a mosquito, grain of dust. All this is meaning that you enter into the smallest division and you continue until you reach the last division. So people must understand what the same thing I'm saying in the last occasion, that using the name, let's say for Hanuman, at one time and another time, it does not mean the same thing. This is an example. All right. Part 7, dowry, gift of payment. Now, dowry is defined as a gift of payment. Now, if you go to page 76, verse 1, 2, and 3, you will see verses state all sorts of gifts given to Shiva and Parvati. And you go to page 76, verse 5. What the author has done, the verse states Shiva talking to his mother-in-law. Look at how the writers lure people to figure out this is a mother-in-law and son-in-law business here. Listen, author lured reader into a trap. Shiva and Parvati are AM, PM time. This is not a life, this has nothing to do with anybody living, right? All sorts of gifts for payment to Ram for his inventions of time machine, right? Bible made it clear that a large sum of money was paid to Ram for his inventions. So people reading, they continue to read and have no knowledge what they're reading. And making people do a set of stupidness, paying a set of money for this. They never said so. They must know the characters and what it entails. Rites of sati. In the last time we talked about sati, and I just want to make a brief comment on it. In past years, many women were commanded to jump into fire with their dead husbands. This was done by instructions from pundits. This practice was stopped by the British. Now let's look at verse used by pundits to issue command for wife to jump into fire with dead husband. Page 73, verse 7. Verse insinuates that Sita burnt herself up in the fire of yoga, sacrificial fire, with her husband Shiva. From time machine, this is fourth death, right? Time machine, this is fourth death here. It can be shown here clearer, fourth death on Vedi number 6, right? Now this is a journey through spiritual world. This is the spiritual world and does not involve any living people. Shiva and Sati are AM, PM. I just described that. Right? From this research, all pundits or organizations must be brought to answer for past crimes. Because you murder people there, you know. This is not, you're murdering people by reading some stupidness from the book. That is not there. It was pundits who persuaded widows to commit suicide. This research proves that all pundits are illiterate on subject. They must study the book well. I keep repeating that. This is a case of illiterate fools who did not understand scriptures, but wrote on subject. Pundits accept dumb books written by dumb fools. Pundits should be thrown into fire. Pundits should refrain from reading and teaching Ramcharita Manasa, this book here, until they are qualified to do so. I keep repeating, they have no qualification to be reading them books. Part 8, Pythagoras theorem. Now Pythagoras' theorem is a squared plus b squared plus c squared. What you leave for these Christians and them, they didn't create, they did not invent anything. So all they did is present ghost writers and ghost inventors. Pythagoras is a ghost writer, a ghost inventor, right? Now if you go to 1 Kings 3:25, it states one child cut in two parts, and each woman give half of a child. This is what the verses say. When you go to 1 Kings 3:26, woman given the whole child now, complete child. They didn't cut up the child. What does this mean? We have to understand. Now if you go to the Mahabharata, I don't know if you ever come across that story. Mahabharata presents an apple cut in two parts and given to two women. Both women made half of a child each. You ever heard that story? Right? No. Yeah, I always hear people talking about that, or pundits. Two halves of babies put together equals to one baby. What do you think the verse is telling you? This is Mahabharata. There is 13,500 BC. They're teaching people half and half equals 1, or 0.5 equals 1. This is mathematics. You understand? Can you make a half a child? But they're carrying on. I don't understand them. It is teachings of decimals and fractions. 2 halves equal 1, and a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. Now if you go to Matthew 25:14 to 29, verses describe a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. Right? If you want to know the figure, is 4 squared plus 2 squared equals to 36. They're giving you, I don't know what the people reading. You understand? So they teach with mathematics on the book and put a name, Pythagoras. Yeah. The name for that is Ram. That is Ram's theorem. Part 9. 378 forms. Ramcharita Manasa. Now, this topic is based on this book, Ramcharita Manasa. Now, now, when you watch how this book is a setup for people, they read in this book, they don't know who wrote it, they don't know what year, they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge in the contents of the book. But everybody transported it on their head and whatnot and reading. So I'm going to explain how this book the origin of this book, Ramcharita Manasa. Now, Holy Spirit 378 forms is presented here, right? Are divided into two groups. One 378 form is 378 live members, and 378 form is 378 inventions. Now, in 13,500 BC, when Hindus went into exile, they carried with them 378 inventions, which were present at that time. Now we're talking here before they start these scriptures, they had 378 inventions. Now, therefore, 378 members divided into 7 groups, 7 stages, carried with them 54 inventions each, right? Now, after 12,000 years, all inventions were increased. Now, if you go to Revelation 7:4, verse state that 144,000 inventions were presented at horse sacrifice. Meaning 12,000 years after, they presented 144,000 inventions. This is what you get that from the Bible. Now, if you're going and you're reading the Ramcharita Manasa and even the Bible, you'll see thousands, you'll see hundreds, you'll see thousands, you'll see millions. A million is 1 and 6 zeros. And you will see it throughout the book. Then all of a sudden you begin to see billions, meaning they're counting the time that they are counting and what year they reach with counting into billions. Now, when you go to they reach 1,000 million is a billion, and they have that in many verses, right? But when you go to page 573, verse 7, it presents 18,000 billions. 18,000 billions is 18 trillions, meaning 18 with 12 zeros. A billion, a trillion is 9 zeros. What I should say, a billion is 9 zeros, a trillion is 12 zeros. So you have 18 plus 12 zeros is 18 trillion 18 trillions. Now, what is it telling you? That they were counting in trillions. So this is to give you an idea how our ancestors were advanced, and we don't even know. Now, I will present a verse here, page 29, verse 7. Presents 9th day of lunar month, 9th division. 9th division means, we are checking here, 9th division means 9,000. This is 9,000 years that they are referring to this, was birth of a name stated in 27 verses. So if you go through this, you will find that you will find 27 verses stating a name. What is this name? As Pundit ever, they never read that book, it appears, because I never hear, you ever hear anybody say they're looking for a name? Right. So which means that they have no knowledge that they're looking for a name. And what are they looking for a name for? And now referred to as Rama's birth. Now you have to understand Rama, the last time I was talking about it, Ram is an entity. So Ram will start at 0. It may not be the same Ram, and this is an example. The Ram they're referring to here is a name they're looking for some invention. What is the invention? Now if you go to page 29, verse 8, it's that verse presents a celebration named Great Birthday Festival. Listen to that. At 9,000 years, they're keeping a festival called the Great Birthday Festival for creation of a name. What is this name? Now, if you go to page 30, verse 6, 7, and 8, and page 31, verse 1 and 2, total 5 verses present name Ramcharita Manasa. The name now crops up into all of these verses. What do they mean? What is it they mean by presenting this Ramcharita Manasa? Now page 30, verse 6 and 9, page 31, verse 1 and 2, verses present 16 names to represent 16 letters of Ramcharita Manasa. If you're going in verses, they present 16 names. So what is 16 names? Each one now is representing one of the letter of Ramcharita Manasa, meaning 1 and 15 zeros. So you have 16. If you're reading that, you're going to get 16 letters. Check it and see, right? Now it is 16 letters transferred to 16 numerals. They take the same 16 letters and transfer it to 16 numerals, meaning 1 and 15 zeros, or 1,000 trillion. Meaning Hindus were counting up to 1,000 trillion. So this Ramcharita Manasa means 1,000 trillion. People should come and refute that. That's an easy one for them to refute. You see? Now what did Christians invent? When you check in all of this type of things, what did they invent? So page 32, verse 5 and verse 6, celebration of name of Rama, Ramcharita Manasa. Okay? So that people have something to go and see if they can find something there. Part 10. 7 Ramas, 7 Sitas wedding. Now, from chart number 50, that's there, I will explain 7 Ramas and 7 Sitas. I'll bring that up here. So this is 7 Ramas, what we would call animate, living people. That's the entity Ram. Now, 7 says it's chosen from 378 forms, 378 inventions, named entity Rama, right? These 7 members are also inanimate, without life. So you have 7 animate, named Rama, and 7 inanimate, named Rama. These 7 members would change to entity Sita, wherein is with 7 Ramas animate and 7 Sitas inanimate. So we have another topic where people can refute, because you know Ram got married to Sita, and it's 1 Ram and 1 Sita. You're now hearing another story here. It's 7 Rams and 7 Sitas. So people should easily go and to refute my claim. Now, if you go to page 206, verse 5 to page 28, it refers to 7 bridegroom parties. Okay? 7 rams and 7 seaters on journey. All right? So you can have 7 bridegroom and it's 1 man. So one time you're beginning to understand. Now, when you go to page 224, verse 4, they talk about each pair of bride and bridegroom. And they all say, lovely brides with their handsome bridegrooms. Is that one person? So I don't know it written there. But they only know it's one, but they're talking about many here getting married. So now you have page 225, verse 1, 4 sons with their brides. Then again in the next verse, you have 3 princes with their brides. So make it 7. Now you have 220 verse 5, happily brought the brides and bridegrooms. And page 288 verse 3, all 4 princes came to their father with their brides. Is that one person getting married to one person? So they must go back and review what they're reading for this thousands of years and have no knowledge that there's 7 rams and 7 seaters that got married. So they have something that they can refute me. Now, all right, I'll fold up there. I have two other points to make, but I can make that after. You have any questions on that? I suppose you're supposed to have some questions because these are big discoveries here that I'm presenting that you never heard in your whole life. All right? So we have the time machine. We have the 7 brides, 7 bridegrooms, and something. What is in the middle here?
Well, the one about the 7 rams and the 7 seaters, I can never hear about that. First time I hear.
But they don't know how to read the book. If they go, and let me tell you, more than half of this book, I mean, Balakanda, it is in Balakanda, first chapter.
Right.
And more than half of that chapter is based on the wedding.
Okay.
Based on the wedding. And they continue to show repeated. I just put down a number of verses here. But right through, they talking about brides and bridegrooms. Or?
Yeah, but I was watching, you have page 215,
Yeah.
219, 213, 209 in this book, this Ramcharita Manasa.
Yeah, it's from this Ramcharita Manasa. So this, I want to know who is reading this book. And what are they reading? I keep saying, you have 7 brides and 7 bridegrooms. And how you will know it? It is from here. 7 rams, entity, animate. Get into, who you think they married? Sita, which is inanimate. So you have 7 persons married to their own inventions here. That is ram. Okay?
But what specifically it mentioned? Like, because I can't. So, well, this is the first time I hear about the 7 rams.
Okay. Everybody will be the first time too.
So what, 7 organizations or is...
No, this is an entity. Remember, they make 7 sages. They start with 10, Remember, it's 10 gods. Right. I never explained the origin. This is the origin. You start with, that is from that chart. You start with 10 gods. And the 10 gods, you put it through the timeline, divide into 7 divisions. You will get the 7 sages.
Right.
That is how you get the 7 sages. And the 7 sages that you're getting there now is this, you put in what we would call the 378 inventions. And you put in the 7 animate sages to carry these inventions separately, 54 each.
Okay, so the inventions is the Sita that they refer to.
Yeah, but Sita is manuscript like the manuscripts.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? The manuscripts of the inventions.
Right.
Yeah, so you have 7 seaters and 7 rams. This is how they put it. And that is what coming down.
So the marriage is what? The marriage is
the ram animate, meaning he is married to his own inventions. That is what they present in there. Right? So he's getting married to his own inventions of 378. This is what he's carrying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now when he reached down to the end now, all inventions have increased. And as I presented, 144,000 inventions presented at the horse sacrifice festival.
Okay.
You see? So Because everything is an invention. Nobody, they was not invented. Nobody had no knowledge. They couldn't speak a language, nothing. It was only Hindus.
Yeah.
Right.
And the part about Hanuman, you say that refers to time when he entered Lanka. And he took the smallest form.
Meaning he started with on second. Just remember this now. Is Hanuman now is this entity. It's called Hanuman.
Right.
Meaning the 7 sages entering into Lanka. He starting as a mosquito. They put a mosquito and thing in the book,
Yeah.
And they put a small, tiny, very tiny. Meaning he entered into the parts of the second. And in every one, he keep coming down. So they present many places. In the end, I think he's springing from branch to branch.
Right.
So everybody get taken up with the metaphors. This is what I'm saying. People reading and reading. I don't know what they're reading. So they must understand how to read this book. You understand?
Yeah.
I could better make the 2 points there, and you could probably might get some more questions there for me.
Well, I just had one more before.
Go ahead.
They ever describe what the divisions do? Because this is for the 7 stages, 3 heaven in this section here.
Yeah.
That the 7 entities, I know you probably mentioned before, what they do specifically.
Yeah. It's outlined there. This is time.
Right.
Time is from 0 to 14,000 years. And the persons that present as time is AM, PM is Shiva and Sati.
Right.
Right. Then you have the 4 yugas is the 4 heavens and the Vedi, right? And you have over here you have what is that there? That is the 3 gunas there. That's the 3 zeros that I explained in the last video. Okay. And the Holy Spirit is the 378 forms that is now transferred and divided into 54 forms each.
Right.
Okay, because the 378 forms here, no, I don't have it there. But that is the people, the 378 members,
Right.
now transferring the inventions where they started with for the journey.
Okay.
You see, and this is what I have here. That is Om. Om is, I explained Om is 0 to 4, which means the 4 heavens, and also it means 0 to 9, meaning the numerals.
Yeah.
Right? That is the numerals. So they bring all of them coming down. Then the 7 manuscripts is the Sita manuscripts with the Vedas and all to make the book. And then this one is the 12 disciples, is the 12 buildings that we continue to refer to throughout.
Okay, so
yeah.
So we have the numerical system, you have the buildings that they construct, they have time, like you explained here, time, the calendar. Those are the inventions coming down.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. That is, and not only that, that is only one part. The 12 disciples now they come with many things that they invented at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so because they presented 378 inventions, coming down,
Okay.
Yeah, they bringing that to teach people. This is what they're teaching, So they carry this invention outside there to teach the people.
Yeah.
That is what they do.
So the book, let's say, like a
Ramayana, yeah, it will
the history book of the inventions and everything.
Definitely, this is what I was saying. This is the history of what Ram did. Literal history.
The entity Ram.
The entity Ram.
Yeah.
Well, I'll use that. Yeah, the entity Ram. Because Ram, this is 12,000 years of Ram, the entity coming out.
Yeah, the history of what they did.
And this was written after 12,000 years. Because they take all the manuscripts now and put it together to construct the book. The same thing they do with the Bible, the 24 Hindus, that's what they did.
Okay.
So eventually you'll catch on to understand how did they construct this thing. This is why I say people don't know how this thing is constructed, And always remember, reading this book or reading the Bible, anytime they make one statement of any one of them, it's 6 of them right here.
Right.
And what it is to tell you, the vast imagination of our ancestors. This whole book is continue to repeat them 7. They continue to repeat in synonyms and see if you could catch them synonyms to match that.
Okay.
This is footworks of the Hindus, our Hindu ancestors. Nobody cannot do that. And you have to be, this is what I'm saying, you have to be very witty to catch what he's doing. Because he presented a synonym of time throughout this whole book. This is what tells you how vast is that Sanskrit language. Okay. How great is that language? Because that is the language they use. All right? And you have them synonyms. In other words, you have 7 sages, and the whole book is repeated with 7 sages. 7 sages. You have to find it out. You go in the Bible, they present it at 7 churches. That's what I tell you, they built 7 churches, not 7 churches. It's 7 sages. You see? So these things are people misunderstand, misinterpret. All right, any more question there?
No,
all right. Well, let me make a point here I would like to make is the bow. You know the bow that Ram, they started in Balakanda with Ram and the bow and the arrow and the string, the bow string and the quiver.
Yeah.
Now what is the bow? Anybody know what is the bow?
No, when I always thought the bow was a bow, you know. Like,
well, everybody looking at it as a bow and arrow. Right. Well, let me tell you something. Ram is a builder and an inventor.
Right.
The bow is a profile to put up a building. This is what it is. I don't know. They're reading this thing thousands of years. It's profiles you put up before you start a building. That is called the bow. And what is the string? To line up the building.
Right.
What is the quiver? You must have the land. And what is the arrow? The building. So every time Ram shoot an arrow, it's a building. You will see how many thousands of arrows he's shooting. In one case, he shoot a deer. Anytime the pundits will be shy to say, well, he eaten deer. It has nothing to do with deer. What it is does that the name of the building is deer. So he shooted a building by the name deer. This is the same thing he did with all the demons and things, to kill the demons. This is what he did. I explained that in the past, I wouldn't explain it now. But the fact is that they misunderstanding the scripture big time. This is start of the book, you know. In Balakanda, you know.
Okay.
And you'll see him wrapping up the string. And what he said, you will get my daughter if you could break the bow. Will you break the bow? What you're breaking? You're breaking down the and only he could break it because he's the builder to break down the profiles. When he finished with the building, you understand? And he break it into pieces. They say he break it into pieces. And what he show? What he show? They have a nice one. They have a few verses here that is very nice and interesting to you. Right, page 178, verse 7. Rama about to break Shiva's bow, meaning the profiles of the building. Right, page 179, verse 7. Rama rolled string, then broke profiles. Well, you remove the string from the profiles, and you start to break down the profiles. Page 80, verse 3. Rama threw bow profiles on ground. Yeah. Page 180, verse 4. Rama's beauty, building looking upon moon. When you expose the building, what you see? The beauty of Rama. And if you read the verse, you will see he's very muscular. And it tells you a mountain of muscles. And he gazing at the moon. Is he building it? That is the inanimate object. Now, page 181, verse 3. Building Rama gazing on moon. That's the inanimate. You understand? So, when they finish now, they place the wreath on Rama. But what they put the wreath on a live person, or they put it in the building. So this writing, the footworks, is very agile of our writers, our Hindu writers. Nobody could match them. They could talk what they want. Nobody. You have to learn how to read that book. Now, I'll make another point. You know what AIT means? You ever heard about the Aryan invasion theory?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that? Is it true or false? What from I'm sure you must have heard that they talk about Aryans came and bring the language and teach the Hindus.
Yeah, well, I think it could be the other way around.
You think it could be the other way around? But I listened to my research.
No, before that.
Before that?
Yeah.
All right, okay. But that's very good. You have a good point. But everybody, let me tell you something. You go to India and all the scholars refute that claim of that Aryan invasion theory. Okay. Now, just like this scriptures, they have not studied it, they don't know. I could tell the historians that for some reason it appears that just as clumsy as the pundits. Because you get in dates, the persons presenting this theory are European scholars, you know.
Right.
And if I tell you something, what they did, they present 16,000 years. No, what else? They present time 2000 BC, 1600 BC, 1500 BC. Now you cannot take that lightly. You as a historian have not presented any dates. You don't know how this person got that. And these are accurate dates. And if you check carefully, I continue to repeat, right through 12,000 years is when Ram left Lanka to come back to India, Ayodhya. They're accurate on the dot. How do they know that? The Christians have no history, you know. This is Hindu history, you know. How did they get that 12,000 years? That is Siddhantic calendar, but you're referring to 1500 BC. Right? They got it from this Ramcharita Manasa and the Bible. This is where I got it to. They went in India and searched all them books and found out that the Hindus that left India to go and do all them construction and teach people returned after that time. You get it?
Yeah.
They did, and they said they bring languages. They really bring languages. Other than Sanskrit, they made it's them that bring all these extra languages to India, you know, because every area they went to, they teach people language which is simple for them. All them languages, that's why they have so many languages. I explained that before. So they have some sense, and the meaning that you're condemning this particularly this Max Muller. We know he's a Christian goon. He must put his spin into it. You think you expect him to tell you that you come to teach them languages? They just reverse it and said, them came to you and teach you all them things. This is what they have in the history book. The historian, what the historian know? He does not know a date, he cannot present a date. And if you read this book properly and you read the Bible properly, 12,000 years when you go in the Bible is the return of the Jews from Babylon. You go in the Ramayana. This is Ram's return to Ayodhya. This is what it means. So I am in agreement with this invasion theory. It is true. You go and find and prove me wrong. And as I said, the pundits presented this clumsily. Like everybody, historians and all, very clumsy presented the history. Let them go and do their research. They think very plain. How do you think I know that? Remember, I presented that all the time, you know. Yeah. And when they return, let me tell you something. They say quite frankly. If you listen to the writings of Max Muller, he's telling you that that is why on the northern India have a more fair skin complexion Indians. Right. How did they get fair skin? These facts. They get married to the same cannibals and them. And they came, and that was the start of what we would call the separation of people, the caste system. Yeah. I explained that before. They came with all of that. They got money from the government to build temples in India. So they are accurate on the dot, but you don't expect them to show is that you did that. So they put a spin into it, and the fussing themselves before they go and look at it. The historians don't even know the Hindus left India to go and build them places. So I find it very strange. You go Ezra and Nehemiah, he tell you 12,000 years they take to build them three pyramids. I present that. You understand? What is happening to our readers? They don't know how to read them books. They're showing that they call it Trikuta, the three pyramid in the Ramayana. You understand? They're giving dates. Look at the example. I give you the dates. They are 9,000 years. The name for Ramcharita Manasa is 1,000 trillion. Thousands of years they're reading this book. Nobody have come close to understanding that. They're looking for a name. Well, it's an invention. He invents something. He wants to put a name for it. What is it? They're giving you the clues. I tell you, they're giving you the clues. And how do I know it? Yeah. They're giving you the clues. So you have to put everything in place now and find out, well, really, in fact, what they Ramcharita Manasa is 1 and 15 zeros. So they're counting, they're telling you at 9,000 years, that's the Dante calendar, which would be about 4,000, probably about 4,500 BC. They started the count at 1,000 trillion. So our ancestors, we have the history, just go in the book. Understand how to read the book. I find it very strange. This thing condemning, ever since they're condemning Aryan invasion theory. Which means, now I'm going to tell you something here with Max Muller. It does not appear that he or the other authors of that theory spread the news or let them know where he got that. He can't get it from nowhere else except the Bible and the Ram. Because them went and pieced everything together from all them Hindu scriptures, you know. Yeah. Yeah. If you go in the history book, you will see that. All right. See if you could give me some questions on that now.
Oh, I didn't know where the theory originated, but what you're saying is that the Aryan, not the Aryan, but the blood that they say is what the Hindus who marry and brought back to India, the Europeans.
The cannibals, they were cannibals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's them.
So
yeah. That is how you get the fair skin in the North India.
Okay.
This is what I said that, and they got money. Mm-hmm. Now they had a problem because remember you talking 12,000 years, you know, a complete generation coming back, you know. Mm-hmm. Different, you know, different customs and everything. So they put all type of laws, and one of the caste system was that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because they rejected do not mix with cannibals.
Yeah.
You understand? We don't want their practice here. So that is the start of the caste system.
Yeah.
You see? So what we're saying, these things are written. So I don't know who is reading this book and where they get the qualification to read this book. Yeah. I said refrain from really reading that unless you are qualified to read that, because you're only messing up with ancestors' book. Yeah. Get the history. Max Muller and them present dates, exact dates. How to get exact dates? Mm-hmm. You see, all of these things you have to think. Now, when they come across that this was Hindus that came to spread this language here and give us science and teach us that, you think he will show that?
No.
He will show them inferior. Yeah. So what he did, he put his spin into it now and presented that is them leave Europe and come and teach you, and you haggling on right now up to now. No, that is the Aryan invasion theory, if you want to call it Aryan, is Hindus that came back. If they want to call it Aryan, okay. In the Bible they call them Jews. Jews were Hindus. The Jews are another ghost story, you know. Yeah. Right. So people must go back, read this book properly. If you cannot get your knowledge how to read that, don't go and teach people this book and you have no knowledge on it. And I keep saying they're reading from the other people. The other people don't know how to read this. Yeah. So he make a story for you, you reading his story. Because he simplified it for you. And that's what you're passing on to you and me. Yeah. You understand? So this is the problem we have in. Get your qualification before you can pass on any information from them. You distorted my ancestors' history. Look at the marvelous things that our ancestors present. Anybody could think that they're checking 1,000 trillion. We give the questions 0 to 9 in first century. They were counting in Roman numerals. To make any calculation, take a whole day to do a little 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 multiplication. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you cannot be proud to do that. But you are allowing our next people to thief it. They thief everything the Hindus made, you know.
Yeah.
Them never invent anything. I'll show you the Pythagoras theorem, and also showing this 1,000 trillion. They ever up till now. Anybody know it's 1,000 trillion? You see, you go around and check. No, the entity. Look, the entity Ram. Just imagine that 7 Rams getting married to 7 Sitas. This is the what we would call the science of entities.
Yeah.
And you could go and read that in this book and see if you could pick up it. More than half of Balakanda is the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That news. That was a big piece of news there. I never hear about that.
Well, all right. So the pundits, everybody should come together and refute.
Yeah.
Come forward and tell me who these 4 and 3 and 4 and 3 going along the road. Well, how many people getting married? They have 7 birthday parties. They have 7 peers. Who are these people? Ram alone? Okay. You see? So what we are saying here, I mean Ram as a unit now, as one person, not as an entity.
Yeah.
You see? So you have to understand how they manipulated people with this entity. So we have 7 Rams getting married to 7 Sita. I want Paul Pundits and who reading this book to refute me. I don't know what they're reading. I'm very amazed the kind of information these books and them have.
Yeah.
I only deal with Balakanda right now. The amount of information that I get in with regard to these things. You see? And them reading something else from ever since. The bow. You take it, boys, check it and read it properly and see. When he exposed the building, Ram gazing at the moon. And he muscles like a mountain. So we having a problem understanding with scriptures. This is where we have a problem.
Yeah.
They must go back to the book and read and understand what is going on. So, you understand? Ram break down you have to break. We must break our bow to open the building.
Yeah.
And shoot the arrow.
Okay. Yeah, well, he put the bow, he break the bow, put up the building, and the arrow is in him.
The arrow is the building.
Yeah. Okay.
So we many things are present here that everyone is controversial because nobody know about it. So they could come forward and refute and make any remark you want to make. And what is surprising in this research here is that we Aryan invasion theory that our scholars and historians refuting to this day. Did they present a date? They don't even know the Hindus left India and went and put up them and only buildings standing there.
Yeah.
So what we scholar what the historians reading? You see, so all I have to say that you cannot prove that somebody didn't put up the pyramids.
Yeah.
You can't find out who it is, and the Bible telling you, and the Ramcharita Manasa telling you it is Hindus. They're giving you time and everything.
Yeah.
You see, and what our scholars reading. So both ways, both of them are very clumsy. And so you leave the Hindus to be the target of everybody. This is what's happening, you know. So the Hindus is leaderless both in the theological and the historical.
Yeah.
So we are defenseless because you don't have leaders to present the book properly beyond history. Yeah. So I think anything there you would like to add or anything?
No, I think it was clear. It's just the first time I hear a lot of this information.
Very well. So first, understand time machine. Understand seven brides and 7 bridegrooms. Is there any Bible have it plain too? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right. So for anybody who wants to contact Mr. Rampersad or refute his claims or get more information or clarification, his information is on the screen and you can contact him. He's always willing to answer questions.
Always. Except nobody wants to come forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they and let me tell you something. They continue to read it in their way. I have no problem, which means that you're ignoring what I'm saying. So tell me, I'm talking stupidness. That is all.
But he's always willing to discuss the topic further. Because we have lots of conversations on the phone concerning these things and clarifying and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so once again, thanks for being here, and I hope the people can understand what you have
Presented, yeah.
and look at the other stuff on his YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much.
Sankhya Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your #1 choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming, is not